When my parents' generation watched television, they had no choice but to wait. One episode a week. No skipping, no pausing, and no binging. If you missed it, you missed it. But then, seemingly overnight, the millennium arrived. DVDs turned into data and data turned into content. From this, streaming services arose, with Netflix chief among them, and for the first time ever, you didn't have to wait. You could watch entire seasons in one night, and your only limitation was how many hours you could keep your eyes open. For years, this felt like freedom. Control was in our hands. No longer shackled to schedules, we were our own curators, choosing what to watch and when, all at once and all on demand. But now we have reverted. Almost every major streamer, from Disney Plus and Amazon to HBO and Paramount, has returned to the weekly drop. One episode a week, just like the old times. And at first, I thought this was a return to form, with a much-needed breath of fresh air in the age of excess. But then, Mobland happened. And now, I'm not so sure, and if anything, it's a bit of a problem. So, how can I claim that this show is such a triumph while simultaneously arguing it's deeply flawed in its release strategy? Well, the answer is simple. Mobland is too good to be rationed. Its quality is precisely what makes the weekly format so infuriating. Because Mobland isn't just good, it's exceptional. It's pure Guy Ritchie, cinematic, sharp, cocky and chaotic. It's like Snatch, Peaky Blinders and The Gentlemen all got locked in a pub bathroom and had to walk their way out. The dialogue is punchy and the stakes are always high. The plotting is gloriously tangled, and it's prestige television with brass knuckles. I mean, the characters and casting for this show are amazing. Tom Hardy does, in my opinion, deliver beyond all expectations in this show. He is the perfect actor to play that gritty, cold-hearted crime fixer whose mere presence carries enough gravitas to influence people's decision-making. And what I've also found myself loving about this show is its dark and gritty nature, which, for Guy Ritchie, is a bit of a noticeable shift away from the norm. Sparingly sprinkled, if at all present, those quips from characters like Hugh Grant in The Gentleman or Jason Statham in Snatch. But here's the thing. Watching Mobland weekly feels like dragging a lit match across a whetstone. The momentum and immersion, the spell it all casts, gets broken the second the credits roll and you're forced to wait another 7 days. We're in a post-writers' strike world, and the effects are still being felt from that. The pipelines have slowed, schedules were pushed, and what used to feel like an endless stream of quality has dried up. Major franchises are on a hiatus. Some are even bloated and broken. So, in the creative drought, a show like Mobland feels like water in a desert. But instead of quenching your thirst, it gives you one sip a week. And here's what makes that worse. Shows have gotten shorter. A season of television used to be potentially 24 episodes. Now, we're lucky if we get 8, sometimes 6. And when you know a season is only 6 hours long, which is almost a long film, the desire to binge becomes overwhelming. It's not just about consumption, it's about continuity and being able to recall all the details of the previous episodes, especially when the plot has so many intricacies. Because Mobland is a web of double crosses, unreliable narrators, shifting loyalties. Every episode ends with a hook, a twist, a deal with the diamond distributor or executions of key players. It's meant to be watched in a state of flow. To pause between episodes is to lose the thread. Characters lie, flashbacks twist reality, timelines overlap, and with a week's gap, those threads fray. The weekly model works when each episode stands on its own, like House or Law of Order or The Bear, where episodes are emotional snapshots. But Mobland is not episodic. It's a slow, deliberate layering of chaos that you need to stay in. You need to keep the adrenaline running and the paranoia building. Yes, weekly releases encourage conversation. They create space, they build community and water cooler moments. It gives culture room to breathe, and for some shows that is perfect. Succession, for instance, lived off that disclosure. But Mobland doesn't feed on conversation. It feeds on tension, and tension by its nature is something that builds, something that needs momentum, and it's something you don't want to break. Look, I'm not saying every show needs to be bingeable, but shows need to be released according to their nature. Some are sprints, but some are marathons. And some are puzzles that should be solved in one sitting, not one piece a week. And Mobland, well, it's a high-stakes poker game where every card matters. Every bluff, every glance, every power play. You want to be in that room, and you want to stay in that room. Instead, you're being asked to step outside just when it gets good. If you enjoyed this video and have any thoughts of your own, please put them in the comments below. And thank you for watching.